Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I'm 63. My husband is 60. We've been married 36 years, and most of our marriage has been full of debt. Right now, we have about $44,000 in credit card debt. We have an $800 truck payment, $200,000 between the two of us in student loans, and I just feel we have no retirement whatsoever except our home. And so
help me with how you have $200,000 in student loans at 64 years old.
Oh, we're late bloomers.
Yeah. Well, who's the doctor?
I know. My husband felt the need to go and get 2 master's degrees. He's a teacher, and I'm a teacher. And so we got a late start, probably in our mid-50s. And I taught, I'm teaching wonderful.
So one of them was not in math?
No, I know. No.
Wow.
So what are your incomes between the two of you with these degrees and these careers?
So between the both of us, I added it up, take home only is $5,635 a month.
Okay.
Wait a minute, you make $60,000, you make $30,000 a piece, and he has 2 master's degrees?
Well, yes. In teaching, it helped him make more money, but our debt just seems to...
No, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You don't make anything. Teachers that have 2 master's degrees should each be making $60,000. What are you doing? Are y'all working in a preschool?
Hey, George here in the control booth, and I bet you're wondering what they're going to say next. Get out of debt, sell the horse, yada, yada, yada. The advice may be predictable, but the internet is anything but. You see, your personal info is out there, up for grabs by shady companies ready to add more scam and spam to your life. And that's why I use Delete Me. Delete Me will scrub your data from all of these sites so that you can focus on The Ramsey Show instead of who's buying and selling your info. And Ramsey fans get 20% off at joindeleteme.com/Ramsey or by using the link in the description below. So go take control of your privacy as soon as this call is over.
Are y'all working in a preschool?
No, he's teaching high school, and I'm teaching middle school.
So that was your take home. What is it before that? Are you taking a bunch out of your check?
Oh, well, for the credit card debt, I don't even know how much it's taking out of that.
It's doing it automatically?
Oh, you're paying the truck payment and the credit card debt, and you're putting money in retirement, and you got all this other crap.
Yeah.
And you're getting a tax refund too, probably.
Right.
Okay, so you might be making $120,000. So what do you owe on the truck?
Right. Oh, goodness. About $34,000, which
Sell
is
it.
about what it's worth.
Oh, yeah, sell that today.
Sell it.
That's the problem. I don't think my husband's willing to sell it.
Then I don't think I can help you.
Does he know that you have?
Well,
does he feel that you guys have a financial problem?
I've kind of hidden it from him, so that's my fault. That's my fault.
So
yes, that's my fault.
if you told him today, hey, we have $44,000 in credit card debt and $200,000 in student loans, that would be a light bulb moment for him. He doesn't know that.
It would, and if I may let
Wait a
you
minute,
guys
he
know,
picked up the truck. He drives it. He didn't think that Santa Claus brought it. And he picked up the 2 master's degrees. He didn't think Santa Claus brought those.
Very true. But
okay. He may not know the exact numbers, but he knows he has made a mess, and he knows it.
And I feel like I've allowed him to because when his dad died, he gave him $100,000, but
listen, you're both complicit because you're married, right? You're both in on this. It's just the level, whatever the level of denial is, or the level of, you know what I'm saying? So you're both in on it. You know, we can go back and forth on who did what and who knows what, but you're both in on it. So I would say,
both of you are required to fix it.
Yes.
And if he does not want to buckle down and clean up the mess that by and large he is responsible for. It was his choice to buy a truck. It was his choice to go to school and get degrees that have not monetized. These were his choices. And so now at 60 years old, he gets to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
And own his choices and go, my family is in jeopardy. I've got to sell my truck.
Mm-hmm.
Your family is in jeopardy. He has to sell his truck, by the way. This is not an option.
This is why he won't sell his truck, because when his father died, he inherited a cabin in Colorado that's free and clear. It's worth about $500,000. And so he doesn't want to sell the cabin because it's emotional. You know, his dad's memory is tied to it.
What's that got to do with the truck?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, you linked it. I'm asking that as a real question. Is there a link or?
Oh, he feels that once we sell the cabin someday, that he'll be able to pay the truck off. And
gosh.
Okay, you got a choice. Friday, one of them goes up for sale. You decide.
Okay.
It sounded like the cabin had way more sentimental value. When I look at this, I go, okay, the truck, you're not even upside down. You get rid of that today. Do you have any money saved anywhere, Liquid?
We have $30,000 in our checking account, but I don't want to pay anything off with that because that's my security nest over the summer when he doesn't get paid.
Okay. Oh, but you guys make enough throughout the year.
Yeah, work in the summer
and
when you don't
know
get paid.
Where it goes. Okay.
Work in the summer when you don't get paid. That's what other teachers do.
2 homeworks. Okay. First homework is you got to have a budget. If you don't know where your money, when you said that, I said, okay, they don't have a budget. There's no plan for the money. So you're downloading Every Dollar tonight. Second homework is when you go to open up Every Dollar tonight, because you've already downloaded it, you sit with your husband and say, we have a crisis. And I don't know if you know it, but here's what it is. And you start laying out those numbers and say, I have a solution. And you've got to open up the lines of communication tonight.
There's a couple of things we can do. We can either sell your truck and buckle down and get on beans and rice and both take extra jobs, or we can talk about selling the cabin now. We cannot stay on the trajectory making the stupid butt decisions we've been making for the last decade and have anything but Alpo for retirement. You've got to say this out loud.
Yeah, you do.
Okay? I'm scared for you, honey. I want you to go win, but I'm scared for you because every time we bring up something, there's a reason to not do it. You've got about 5 things you've been doing wrong. You got to reverse all of those in dramatic fashion and then slam on the accelerator in the other direction. Okay? Number 1, you're not disclosing and working together on every detail of your budget and your future. You're treating him like he's a little boy. And his feelings are hurt when his daddy died, and so he can't make a grown man decision. Sorry, you get to be a man when you're 60. No way around it. You got to deal with it. Okay? Number 1. So you got to be on the budget. Yeah. You got to be on the same page. Number 2, you guys are going to have to chop something with a freaking machete because you have a mess, because you've been spending money like you're in Congress around there, and you've got to stop it. You've got to chop some stuff, and this car is one of them, but the car really points to the cabin. If I woke up in your shoes and I was him and I had to come Jesus meeting and I decided I was going to be a grown man, the decision I made to go get 2 master's degrees that I couldn't afford to do was the day I made the decision to sell the daddy's cabin. You didn't mean to do it, but that's exactly what happened. You lost the cabin when you went and got 2 master's degrees that didn't monetize. That's what you did. You traded the two because it's a balance sheet thing. You got over here, you got a $500,000 asset. Over here, you got $200,000 debt. And the sooner you fix that, the sooner you can get in gear and start saving and actually retire and not eat Alpo.
That's right. And Rita, you need to run actual numbers because what's going to make this compelling, not just to you, but to your husband, is to say, hey, here's what we have. Teachers, they set aside, you have to pay into the pension. Here's what we have. If we continue to go at this rate, here's what our retirement will look like. Dollar-wise, here's what we'll be bringing in. And that's going to shed some light. When we compare that with what we owe on our mortgage and what we have to pay, real numbers are going to make this a very compelling argument for you guys to do what Dave said and go in the opposite direction.
So 36 years, you've been taking care of him. And now it's time for him to step up and say, I'm going to be a man and we're going to make grown-up decisions together because we have made a mess. By and large, he has made a mess. That's what it is. You're trying to take care of him. You're trying for him not to have any hurt feelings. Toughies. You signed up for this trip. He did. And he gets to take it. Yep. I'm sorry. This is The Ramsey Show. Create your free Every Dollar budget today. The simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So I'm 29 years old, and back in 2023, after a harsh talk with my wife to manage her spending, we made the decision to get out of debt, and we achieved that. And 2025 was going to be our year that we were house shopping and going to buy our first house. And about a month and a half ago, I got a statement in the mail for some credit cards and found that my wife has pulled about 3 new credit cards and has maxed them out, and we've now accumulated some new debt. She's always had a bit of a spending problem, and I thought we got through it, and we were pretty happy being debt-free. Just not quite sure how we have this conversation again, and how to make this stick and be on the journey of being debt-free and managing our money.
How much debt on the 3 cards?
From zero, we've now accumulated a little over $3,000.
Okay. And when you said, "Hey, I thought we were getting out of debt and saving for a house," and you ran up credit cards, and you knew I hated debt, and we had worked to get out of debt, and you did this, and didn't tell me, what did she say?
Well, she's pretty embarrassed but defensive. Her mother stole her identity at a very young age, and she's never had great finances. We've did a lot to get her out of debt, from debt that was accumulated as she was 8 years old, with TV, utility bills, cable bills, all done by her mother. So we did a lot to do that, and she doesn't want to end up like her mother. And she's very embarrassed.
How old is she?
She's 30 now.
Okay. How old are you?
29.
And how long have you been married?
8 years.
Okay. All right. I'll give you an observation of what I think I heard you saying.
Hey, George here in the control booth, and I bet you're wondering what they're going to say next. Get out of debt, sell the horse, yada, yada, yada. The advice may be predictable, but the internet is anything but. You see, your personal info is out there, up for grabs by shady companies ready to add more scam and spam to your life. And that's why I use Delete Me. Delete Me will scrub your data from all of these sites so that you can focus on The Ramsey Show instead of who's buying and selling your info. And Ramsey fans get 20% off at joindeleteme.com/Ramsey or by using the link in the description below. So go take control of your privacy as soon as this call is over.
I'll give you an observation of what I think I heard you saying. And I want to play it back to you, okay? I think you were using the words we and our when it was only you. I wanted to get out of debt, so I talked to her about her spending, and I got us out of debt so that I could buy us a house.
I had a harsh conversation.
I don't think
with her.
she was involved in any of this emotionally. I don't think she agreed with the decision. I think she went along with it because she's embarrassed and shamed about her handling of money. But I don't think as a grown-up she stood up and said, "I'm going to join hands with you and we are going to hit these goals." Instead, I think she's been treated like a little girl again by you. That's the language you were using, and I'm going to play it back to you. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, when you said, Bobby, I had to have a harsh conversation with her about it. And so I think the real question is, number one, kind of what Dave was just proposing of, okay, so looking back now at the whole journey in which you guys have walked through the last few years with money, how has she been through that? And obviously not very on board, or she has some major issues. And honestly, the whole spending addiction world has really exploded in the even more recent because of how easily it is to have access. So whether it's to credit cards or shopping online, all of it, just like gambling addiction has gone up with sports betting and all of it. So there's such this environment, Bobby, that she's having to honestly fight a bigger battle now today in 2025 than even in previous, generations. Yeah. So my question would be to her is, what's going on with her? What is it that's causing this to happen? Because we see it all the time that there is, levels of really deep pain, and the medicator is the spending. And so I'm curious, and with her backstory of her mom and not trusting fully the adult in her life, and the adult in her life used her completely and stole her identity to mismanage money on top of that, right? Like there's a lot there for her. And so does she recognize any of that, or is any of that in the conversation?
Yes. We sat down early on when we wanted to buy a car together, and we would like to finance something, and she didn't know anything about credit and all that, and that's where it was found. And she was very upset by that, and it came as far as she was actually arrested on felony charges for deceptive practice for a bad check written by her mother, and luckily found not guilty. And that's where the changing point in our lives were to get out of.
How long ago was all
my
that?
debt, her debt.
How long ago was
What
that?
sorry?
How long ago was that check thing?
The check was made when she was 18, still in college.
I mean, when did this charge come?
Charge came in 2021.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 4 years in the past, and apparently we've gotten Mom off the stealing pattern. Mom's not stealing her identity anymore, at least as far as we know, right?
No, we're completely locked down with our identities.
Good. Okay, so all of that's in the past. She didn't do anything wrong there. She was a victim there. Then that changes gears when she runs up debt in contrast to what you guys have talked about. And so Rachel's right. It could be an addictive behavior. It could be coming out of pain. It could be coming out of you just controlled everything and she didn't have a vote, and this was her only way to have a vote. So she just ran off and did whatever the flip she wanted to do because you tell her everything to do, and she doesn't, she's saying, her little girl's saying, you're not the boss of me, I'll show you. And sometimes people react that way too. Mm-hmm. So, because I think you told her what to do, I don't think you got agreement. There's a difference.
Would you agree with that, Bobby?
I absolutely agree in a half and half scenario. I know I can have that kind of tendency.
You have on the phone with us.
Yes.
Okay. We heard it. That's where it's coming from. I'm not being mean to you. I'm just saying that, there's a difference in getting people to buy into a vision and go forward. That's leadership. There's a difference in a leader and a boss. A boss has got a cattle prod and tells you what to do. It's a stick and no carrot. And that's in business, but it's also in ministry. It's also in your marriage. And so versus I'm going to get collaboration. We're both going to sit down and talk about the pluses and minuses of debt. We're going to we agree we're going to get out of debt because it's the fastest way to build wealth. We agree we're going to get out of debt because we want to buy a house. Not Bobby wants to buy a house, and he told her what to do so it could happen. I kind of think that's what happened, Dave. So I'm not blaming you for this. She shouldn't have lied. She shouldn't have deceived you under any circumstances. That's wrong. And so you guys probably need to sit down with a good marriage counselor, ask them about a possibility of a spending addiction, but also let's get some different patterns to get agreement and sell a vision for the future. The Bible says where there is no vision, the people perish. Let's both buy into where we want to go, not where you tell her we're going. There's a difference. This is The Ramsey Show. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Lisa is with us in Austin, Texas. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm having a good day.
Good. I am. How can I help?
I'm just starting your program, and I'm not sure how to do it when there is no money left to save at the end of the month, or at the beginning of the month, or any of the month. I was homeless for about a week and then had to live in a hotel for about a week until I found a place to live. And this is the first month that I was able to pretty much pay all the bills in full and start to get back on my feet a bit.
Good. I'm glad you're turning it around. So were you having a career problem or something else?
No, I've been a teacher for 11 years, and I love what I do, even though I only make $42,000.
Yeah, but $42,000 doesn't cause you to be homeless. How did you end up homeless making $42,000?
It was a fight among family, and I left.
Oh, you were living with someone else?
Yes, and it was a fight among family, and I left and became homeless.
Okay.
And
you had no money. You had no money saved at all.
I have no money saved. I am a spendaholic, I guess you could say. If I get it, I will spend it.
Gotcha.
Payday comes, and the first thing I'm doing is hitting up Target or Walmart or some
Gotcha. How old are you?
Or something. I'm 48 years old.
48 years old. And you were still living at home before?
I had a house, and it was paid for, and I sold it and went to live with my parents to help my mother, who was in a diving accident and kind of paralyzed, and was going to help her along.
What happened to the money from the house you sold?
Oh, I used it to pay off my first debt, and then I proceeded to go right back out and get myself back in debt.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
And,
so do you think you've been through, it sounds like you've been through a lot of pain. I'm sorry. I know when I go through pain, I have one of two things that happens with me. I'm either going to go back and do it again, or I've had it and I'm not going back. Have you had it yet?
I think so. I really think this was the rock bottom that I had to hit for me to realize that I can't spend money that I no longer make. And
cool. So you have debt now. You've run debt back up. How much debt have you got?
I have $71,000 in student loans, and I'm not a doctor. And I have about $20,000 in personal, which includes a lien on my car.
How much do you owe on your car?
Yes, the car's paid off.
How much do you? Well, you have a lien on your car, so the car is not paid off.
Oh, okay. So it's about $14,000.
Okay. All right. So what is the car worth?
It's only a year old, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay.
I have never been financially responsible. I've never really understood money.
Right. So you understand it. You just spend it.
I spend it. I keep the economy afloat.
You're a teacher, and you understand sixth grade math. You just choose to ignore it and go do whatever the flip you want to do, like buy a car you can't afford.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that a lot of people do that. It's okay. I'm not being mean to you. I've done it too. So, I mean, we know what we're doing. I mean, I know when I eat a bag of chocolate chip cookies, it's probably not good for my girlish figure, but I know what I'm doing, and it's a choice you make. So you've got to decide that. Now, my good friend Les Brown's the great motivator. He says people finally change their lives when they say, I've had it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and the only person that can fix this mess is the person in my mirror. If that's you, I can help you.
Yes. This is it. I'm living... when I've got out of college, I made six figures.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. Let's get started right now. We're going to take your paycheck, and you don't do anything with your paycheck until you buy food from the grocery store so you have food to eat. You're not allowed to go inside a restaurant ever again unless you're working there as your extra job until you get this debt cleaned up.
Right.
And you can't go back to Target. They don't have anything else you need. Stay out of Target, because you told me Target's your weak spot.
It is.
Okay.
Hobby Lobby, Target, all
you can't go to a bar if you're a drunk.
Right.
Okay? And sit around at happy hour and hope you don't get drunk. So don't go to Target and Hobby Lobby, whatever it is. Whoever it is, it's killing you, right? Just identify. And because none of these places sell food. Well, they actually do, but they're not. That's not where you're going to do your grocery shopping, okay? So you're going to do your grocery shopping, number one. Number two, you're going to pay your lights and water. We know you've got enough to do those three things. Number three, you're going to pay your rent, so you're never homeless again. You got enough to do those three things. Then you're going to pay your car payment and get it paid off as quick as we can. And until you do food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and utilities, you don't do anything. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
You take care of you first, and you'll not be homeless again. Now, the student loan may or may not get paid this month, but right now you're going to take extra jobs, and you're going to have no life, and you're going to clean this mess up. Hold on. We're going to sign you up for Financial Peace University. I'm going to walk with you, and you call me back if you got questions as you go through this. It's time for you to change. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. John is with us in Miami, Florida. Hi, John. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm honored to be speaking with you today.
You too, sir. What's up?
My wife and I are debt-free, and we are currently, except for our mortgage, and our goal at this point is to pay extra on our mortgage.
Good.
The issue that I'm having right now is with her parents. They continually borrow money off us, and we're essentially their emergency fund at this point. The most recent amount was in excess of $500, and they do pay us back, but I believe they mismanage their money and they rely on us. So my question is, do we continue to lend them the money? Because essentially she cannot tell them no, and it's causing arguments and a lot of stress in our marriage. So is there any advice you can offer us?
Sure.
And is there a right or wrong answer?
Well, there's a right answer. So how old is she, your wife?
44.
Okay. So she's been out of the house quite a while. And why does she have trouble telling them no? Just the family script? Her mom or her dad are just overbearing type people, or what?
She worries about them a lot. They're in a situation where I believe they have enough money to make ends meet, but they just don't. Yeah. They mismanage their money. And
so why do you feel like I'm not talking about them. I'm asking you about your wife. Why do you feel like your wife doesn't look at them and see what you see?
Maybe because they're her parents, and I try to put myself in her shoes, and if they were mine, but I don't know what it is within her that she can't say no, and how it affects our relationship, or our core relationship at this point.
Okay, here's what I would tell her if she was my wife. Okay, this is not about her parents. This is about your wife. That's where the core issue is here. Okay? Enablers, which is what she is, when you give a drunk a drink, you are enabling alcoholism. You are assisting the drunk in being an alcoholic. That's what an enabler is. Okay? Enablers are the nicest people you will ever run into. I bet your wife is just sweet. You're kind of like me. I think you're a little bit rough around the edges. I bet your wife is sweet.
She is. That's part of the issue.
Yeah, I'll bet she is. Most enablers are. They see this as just that telling her mother no would just be mean. That's how your wife views it, because she's a sweet person, right? Am I right?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So if you'll think about it that way when you're talking to your wife, here's what you need to tell her. Honey, you're a sweet person, and you think you're being nice. But the truth is, if you give a cocaine addict cocaine, if you give a crack addict crack, if you give someone who misbehaves with money, you are not being nice. You are causing them to continue to harm themselves. That's not nice at all. So most enablers in an effort to be nice actually end up being very mean to the people that they supposedly love, because they're just weak. You see what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
I have sat with enablers and told them, listen, if you'll get it in your head that you're actually harming them by doing this, you'll quit doing it. Now, once you've done that, then your wife comes over onto the side of, I'm going to love my parents well, which is I'm not going to participate in their freaking insanity. That's loving them well. If you got a buddy that's doing cocaine, you don't help him kill himself, right?
Right.
To love him well would be to help him walk away from the cocaine, correct? And correct. If you got somebody misbehaving with money, it's not nearly as serious as cocaine, but it is still misbehavior. These people misbehave. They're immature, they're disorganized, and they've never addressed their stuff. And so if I loved them, what I would do is not continue to give them money unless it had strings attached, like you have to go through Financial Peace University, and I'm going to give you this $500. I don't want to loan it to you, but in order for you to get this $500, you have to sign up for a Financial Peace University class, and I'll pay for that too. But you guys have to learn to handle money, because you've worked your whole lives. You got nothing because you mishandle. You make enough to not be broke, and you mishandle it. Now, that is an act of love towards them. And you can't do it. She has to do it. Because you're the evil son-in-law.
She wants to take money from her parents. They give us $50 a month to set aside, but that's essentially us managing their money for them.
Yeah, that's 4-year-old stuff.
Yeah.
Do that with a 5-year-old. I don't do that with grown people. You could take over their whole checkbook and manage it for them if they have dementia, but they don't have dementia. They have laziness and disorganization and immaturity, and they need to grow up, right?
Yes.
Now, I'm being brutal, okay? I'm being very correct.
I know.
And I don't want you to talk to them this way. I want her to talk to them this way. Mom and Dad, I love you, and we will not participate in you not handling money well anymore. So this time we're going to give you the $500. We're not going to loan it to you, but under 2 stipulations. Number 1, we're not giving you any more. This is the last time it's going to happen. Number 2, you're going to go through Financial Peace University, and we'll be your cheerleaders and your biggest coach because we want you to turn this around. We're not here to shake our finger at you and condemn you, but I'm not going to give a drunk a drink anymore. That's a loving act. What she's doing now is not loving. It's weakness, and she's copying out. She has no courage. It's not loving at all. She's just so nice she won't deal with it. So that's how I would handle it if I were you guys. I can tell you that will also help you with your marriage relationship, you and your wife, because this is a boundaries issue is what it's called. And her father or her mother, whoever it is that makes the phone calls, has become a travel agent for guilt trips. And they call up and tell her all the things they used to do for her when she was 4 and use that as leverage to remind her that to be a good daughter, she has to give them money and participate in their delusional craziness.
You're right. They do call, and she feels guilty if she doesn't lend to them. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, they're travel agent for guilt trips. It's exactly what they do. It's a normal pattern, man. And
Yes.
So, but the trick is you got to bolster your wife and convince her that she's not helping them, she's hurting them. If she really gets that, she'll go, "Oh, I would never hurt my parents." No, darling, you wouldn't. And I'll stand with you, but you're the one that has to talk to them and tell them. And you pay for Financial Peace University for them, John. It'll be good for them to have their son-in-law do that. And you give them another $500 or another $1,000. I don't mind you helping them, but I want to help them win. I don't want to participate in their losing. Hold on. I'm going to have Kelly send you a copy of my buddy Henry Cloud's book. It's called Boundaries. Your wife doesn't have any. You guys got to read this book. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
Okay, one of the big cultural norms, cultural myths is that a college degree is the best way to success. Now, that may have been true based on where culture was 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It's not true anymore as education continues to evolve, as technology evolves. And one of the things I wanted to point out, George, is a recent Yahoo News story that talks about a new report that shows which colleges offer the best ROI. So we got a lot of money questions and calls. Obviously, people don't want to win with their money on the show. And so ROI standing for return on investment. So if you think about how much money you spend over 4 years, and here's the deal. The data shows us that a lot of kids are taking 5 to 6 years. So this is let's call it a 4 to 6 year spend on college. All right. And so just touching on a few things from the article. The report has a calculator where you can go in and you can search 3,300 colleges in the United States. And from this report, you see a lot of technical institutions, science and engineering type institutions tend to have a greater ROI, right? Because of the explosive growth in those areas. And, the even the entry level in those areas is quite nice. And here's how they came up with it. How they come up with, because I think this is important for consumers, is they're thinking, what's the right school for my kid? What's the right school for me? More on that in a second. But this report basically took the college earnings premium, which is the pay bump that students would get after graduation or as a result of graduation, and they divide that number by the cost of tuition. And then it's going to take into account a range of other factors like student debt, to how long it takes to complete it. So what are you racking up in debt? How long is it taking to get to the degree? As well as what are the labor market challenges that graduates will face. To give you an example of what I'm talking about here, we know that over 50%, I think it was about 52% of college graduates in 2021 took 6 months to find a job in the field they went to be trained for. So this takes into account that as well.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to dive into this very deeply, but public institutions via this report, this ROI calculator, George, tended to do much better. The private nonprofit institutions were next, and then the private for-profit institutions, not so good.
Uh-oh.
So now let me just call this out because this is a trap. The private for-profit institutions that did not have a good ROI, in fact, according to this report, just 69% offered a positive return. And I don't want to name names and hack anybody off.
Sure.
But, they're out there, they're for-profit, and they're big box. It's like, hey, come here, we'll get you trained for continuing education, blah, blah, blah. So be careful.
I'm looking at some interesting numbers here on the calculator.
What do you got?
I typed some schools in just to see. My alma mater has a $200,000 positive ROI.
Oh, very nice.
Texas Tech, Dr. John Deloney's alma mater, has $1 million ROI. Typed in Harvard University, just to see, $3 million ROI. And so that's what they're saying. It's very interesting, but to look at different schools, and this varies person to person. If you get a full ride, well, that changes the game versus going $300,000.
And let's also understand, we are not endorsing this calculator. I want to be very clear. I'm saying it's a very interesting
tool.
It's an interesting tool, but I think you've got to take into effect the student loan nonsense.
Yes.
And what you're going to saddle yourself with. And I'm just going to say this to everybody listening and watching. When was the last time you went to the doctor's office or the dentist office or sitting down with your CPA, and before you decided to pay them for their services, did you ask them to show you their diploma? Nobody cares.
I scan the wall looking at the frame.
I know you do, George, but you're neurotic. Nobody else does that. No, we're kidding. He doesn't do that. So this is the point. Let me just also give you a two-part question that I'm trying to help parents grasp. Is college the only way for your kid to get where they want to go? Secondary question, is it the best way? If the answer is no to either one of those, please be okay going to the block party or the golf course or the soccer game and going, hey, my kid's going into trade school. Stop being ashamed of it, for crying out loud.
It wears me out, the shame that we've put on community colleges, on trade schools, on state schools even, and it's got to stop because it's putting our kids in chains for 20 years so that the parents can feel good, so they can brag to their friends about where their kid went to school.
Yeah, it's become about status, folks.
Don't go for the football team, don't go for the landscaping, don't go for the water slide.
Yeah, if you've got to get the degree, get it. If it's the best way to get where you want to go, do it. If it's not, get over yourself.
And this is a great pitch for everyone to go watch Borrowed Future. It's 88 minutes long. You've got to see this. Sit down with your kids.
Yep.
Parents, if you don't know how to have this conversation, this documentary can be a great place to start. This is a world-class documentary we put out late last year. It's like $5 to go watch this thing. You can get it on Amazon Prime, on Apple TV, at our website, borrowedfuture.com. And listen to the podcast. That's a free resource, Borrowed Future. We did 8 episodes on that, on the student loan crisis, and it was eye-opening. But it just made me go, I want to shake every student and go, there's another way.
Well, you realize,
you don't have to fall for the traps.
You realize that higher education has become about their fortunes, not your futures.
Amen.
So there you go.
You should tweet that. That's good.
Yeah, I'm working on that one. You need to spread that one.
Gary's with us in San Diego to start off this hour. Hey, Gary, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Hi, George. Great to talk to you. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure, man. What's up?
I've got a two-part question. The first is about incorporating sinking funds into the Every Dollar app for budget, when you do a sinking fund versus just having a fluctuating budget. And the second is about market stability. So I'm baby step 7, EDM, make way more than I spend monthly. And my wife and I have been using Every Dollar inconsistently, but we're really focused now. And there's things like car insurance, things like that, property taxes that are several $1,000s that I'm wondering, do you set those aside monthly in your budget, or if you have the money, do you just do it every 6 months or every year? So that's the first part of my question. And then secondly, I know you're friends with Glenn Beck, and he's talking a lot about this great reset and everything. I'm wondering if you have any concerns over the market and alternate strategies like he does.
Do you have crazy friends? I've got a few crazy friends. Glenn's one of them. I love Glenn, and he's completely out on a plank. I mean, he does this every 2 or 3 years. He predicts the end of the world. And I made a rule when I went on radio, I'm not going to predict the end of the world. And if Glenn's going to predict the end of the world, he and I are going to be friends that disagree. So, no, I don't think that the world is coming to an end. If it does, then it will, but I'm not adjusting my investments, and I never have. In any of the crises and the geopolitical upheaval that there has been, I've always just kept investing, and those the only ones that get hurt on a roller coaster are those that jump off in the middle of the ride. So, George, what about sinking funds?
Well, I was just going to mention on that part, on top of not getting hurt on the ride, you also kept your sanity. And that's an important part of this equation.
You're suggesting maybe Glenn didn't. No, I'm kidding. We love Glenn. We joke all the time. He is a great guy. He's a wonderful person. I mean, I really like him. But he gets crazy sometimes, man. And this end of the world prediction stuff is one of those times. So
I sleep better at night without having to worry about that.
He went off on the gold run a few years ago, getting everybody on to gold. And of course, I don't do that. So I got a lot of friends that I really love them and respect their intellect, but disagree with their ideas. And so that's all this is.
Sinking funds. Let's talk about that. I'll tell you how I do it in my personal every dollar budget, and Dave can tell me I've been doing it wrong all these years, but I have a whole category called funds.
That's wrong. No, I'm kidding.
I just list them all out, and I divide it by 12. So I pay all my insurance premiums yearly because it saves money, and so if it's $600, I go, all right, we got to put $50 in that sinking fund category every month, and that's going to get set aside in my account so that when that time comes, the money comes out, and I didn't bat an eyelash.
Here's the sinking fund are little miniature savings accounts to cover Christmas because it comes every year in December. They don't move it, so you got to get ready, right? It's the old Christmas club account. It's just built into your budget is all. Now, Gary, I do want to. That's exactly how I would do it 99% of the time. I want to acknowledge, though, that you said you're an everyday millionaire. You have a huge income. You're completely debt-free on Baby Step 7. So you've got substantial cash flow. What's your household income?
So it's different this year. So I'm retired, and my take-home retirement guaranteed income gross is $15,000 a month, and I have
okay. So if you have a $4,000 item that pops up once a year, you just put it in your budget, right?
So yeah,
you don't have to save up.
Do I need to?
You don't have to save up for Christmas, making $15,000 a month. You can just go freaking buy Christmas, right?
Got it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
you put that in the budget. That's what you do when you get to this level. Now, the purpose of having the sinking fund is not to nerd out on every detail. It's to not have an expense sneak up on you that leaves you without food money that month. Because you got, oh my God, I got to pay my property taxes. I have no money, and I haven't saved up any to get ready, and they're due, But in my case, we're obviously Baby Step 7 people too, and so I don't have a sinking fund for my property taxes. I just write a check when it comes up because I can fit it into my income like you can, Gary, and so you don't have to do the sinking fund. But if you've got something that's big enough that you experience an ouchie, it's like, When that hits in your monthly budget, then you probably should have saved up some to get ready for it with a little miniature named savings account. We call them sinking funds.
And it helps to know when those are coming up because sometimes you're like, I don't know when my premium comes out every year. So it's good to have that and have the dates. But like you're saying, you've got a buffer in the checking account when you get to a place like Baby Step 7.
But until you're out there like that, I mean, when you're in Baby Steps 1 through 6 and all, and you're still fighting to pay off the house, you're not running with big lumps of cash laying around. I mean, you're running it. All those dollars have names, and they're going everywhere. You need to use sinking funds in that case.
Absolutely.
Always. And the classic one is, I had to run Christmas on a credit card because I forgot it was in December, and it snuck up on me. Like they move it. They don't move it. So that's what that's about. But man, you've obviously done a wonderful job. Congratulations, Gary. Very well done. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
All right, today's question. It's a long one. Get ready, everyone.
Oh, it is.
Buckle up. We got Barry in New Jersey. Is my wife a princess, or do I need an attitude change?
Yes and yes.
All right, let's get
Next
all
question.
their numbers. We have followed your baby steps and are debt-free but the house. Our net worth is $1.6 million. We owe $80,000 on the house. It's worth $700,000. We're 50 years old. My income's $125,000 every year. Early in our marriage, my wife made over $100,000, but we had 2 kids. And later we had 2 more. We made the decision for her to be home and homeschool the kids all the way through high school. Huge sacrifice. Both agreed it was best for our family. Now, fast forward 20 years. The kids are grown. We're doing well. Our lives and our marriage are great. But my wife is still not working. I have asked her to just work to knock out the mortgage, to take that off my back, and to help us build a gap fund so I can retire a little early. She has shown little effort at finding something and is not super motivated. We make plenty to live on, but I've noticed some of our budget drift as she has more time on her hands and isn't needing to spend devoted time to our kids with schooling. Is she a princess for not wanting to go back to work, or do I just need to suck it up and change my attitude and be grateful for the fact that she doesn't have to work? I know my knee jerk.
I want you to go first because I have a very clear answer.
I think he needs an attitude change. I don't think she's being a princess. She worked hard with the kids.
Yeah.
She's a stay-at-home now wife. He's doing fine financially. They got $80K on the house. They're going to pay it off. She's 50 plus years old. She's enjoying her life.
I agree, but
I'm not mad at her.
I'm not either. But what do you say? In fact, I'm going to stay out of this and just ask a question.
Okay.
Let's say that Barry's wife, her name is Mary, just for fun.
Okay.
And let's say you and Mary go to tea or whatever you would do. And she says, my husband Barry has asked me to go back to work. It's the same scenario.
Sure.
And she says to you, we're fine. All the things you just said.
Yeah.
But I understand he wants to knock it out of the way, blah, 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 blah. He wants me to go back to work and I just don't want to. What should I say to him? How should we handle this? What would your advice be to your friend Mary about her husband Barry?
Mary and Barry. I would say I can understand where he's coming from. I can see more for him wanting to retire early and wanting to get out of the work and stuff. I see that more plausible and understandable for some reason than even the house.
I know. But what do you say to her? Because he's clearly brought this up to her.
Yep.
And she's not moving fast
So
enough.
I would ask her, what is it that keeps you from not working?
Yes.
Meaning, like, is it that you don't have a thing that you're passionate about that you want to do? Is it that you just logically have come to a conclusion that y'all are going to be fine? Like, you're going to pay off the house soon.
Yeah.
He will retire at a decent age. There's no need for this urgency at this point in our lives. So I would ask her those questions, and then I would have her. I would want her to ask him, hey, what's really like? What is going on? What's more pressing? Do you get frustrated that I'm just home? Does that bother you? Ooh. Do you think I'm like, you know what I mean? I would want to know because some resentment could be building on his end.
Yeah, could it be the budget drift? So he's like, if she works, then she's going to keep her,
and she
disciplined.
Can't and obviously she can't go and just do whatever she wants. Like, we have to have limits and boundaries in life, but it doesn't sound like she's out of control.
No, not at all.
And if they had 2 car payments and $15,000 of credit card debt, she has to get back to work.
All right, so I want you to keep on this because you're getting us there, but let me interject on behalf of
you get us there. Do you know? Do you know where we're going?
Well, but where you were going. I wanted you to tell us what you would tell her because
I
think
tell her.
This is a getting on the same page. You're great at that.
I would
You're
ask
very
her,
intentional in your life with Winston. And so here's my only take. Yeah. I think he sees her as potential income. And he's got some stress and he's got some urgency over a goal. And he's looking at her, in this case, wrongly.
Sure.
Barry were with me.
Yeah,
I'd go,
no, I'm here.
I understand what you see.
Yeah.
You see potential income that's not being maxed out, and you're going, come on, babe.
Yeah.
That's what I think he's feeling. That's what I'm, so I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah.
So what would you tell her? Because there's some stress on his end.
There is, and I just wonder on her end, hey, is there other ways that I can help contribute to lowering that stress with me not having to go back to work? Like, would it make you feel better? And if we agreed on a budget and I actually stuck to my word, right? Because if the budget's adrift, then there is a level of like someone's not keeping their word, which it's not great. So I would have those conversations, but I also think that there's like a reasonableness for him to see, you guys are doing fine.
Yeah, well, if anytime someone mentions twice the same phrase, is she a princess? Methinks that Barry thinks that she's a princess. And
Yes.
what he means by that is not the compliment. It's like, you got it good, babe. I've been out busting it. Yes, you did your part. So I would say to Barry, hey, dude, I'm guessing there's already been a lot of tension around this, and you got to change your tenor and how you're going at this. Because if you're asking us twice in a thing that may get read on the air, is she a princess? That tells me you are feeling some resentment towards her. That's got to get fixed.
And that's more of the underlying issue. And I do think sometimes spouses, because our spouse is the closest person in our lives, they are the ones that we can just kind of like, say it all, give it all, whatever. But I do think the intentionality, and you're great at this, Ken, asking questions. I think, and Winston and I have kind of gotten in this rhythm too. Instead of just telling, right? Mm-hmm. You do that. I want you to do. Asking questions. Mm-hmm. Actually get to know your spouse on that level of what's really going on. And that takes some intentionality. But I think getting to the root of all of this is key. The root for her. Yeah. Why does she not want to stick to the budget? The root for her. Why does she not want to go back to work? What's going on within her? Yep. And then for him too. What is going on?
I love that you bring this up, because we know there's all kinds of tension around money issues. This is a really great conversation. One of the things I learned from a coach years ago that I was getting trained by as I was getting into this type of work where I get to coach people, they told me to always ask what questions, not why questions. You hear this in a lot of therapy. Like if you're doing marriage counseling, a good therapist, we have a mutual friend who we did some work with, both of us individually, and it was like, don't ask why questions, ask what. So in this case, Barry needs to get to a question where he goes, I've mentioned to you that you could work. What is keeping you from pursuing this? Mm-hmm. What are you concerned about? And allow her to share her voice. Yes. And not be defensive. Because it's like, why haven't you applied for something? Yikes.
Right.
She's immediately on the defensive.
Yes.
And unable to do anything but defend herself.
Yeah. The finger pointing doesn't get anyone anywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
And that is hard. So, yeah. And usually, too, I have found, Ken, in life, in all my years, there's usually a balance. There is. She's probably not a full-blown crazy princess over here.
Oh, no.
But could there be some time, could there be some things here and there that she could do to help it relieve some stress? Sure. Yeah. And for him, right? Like, I think there's always this, like, there's usually a middle ground.
My guy, Barry, he's a little uptight. And so a little advice to Barry is, hey, you know what? Why don't you go take on a second job?
Go enjoy your life.
No, I'm going to tell him to go pick up. And she's like, and so Mary's like, well, Barry, why aren't you home? He's like, well, I just really want to knock this out. And then she starts to go, well, why do you feel the need to do this? Yeah. That could be a little passive-aggressive way to do it. But it's better than what he's doing now by emailing the second largest radio show in the country and asking, is my wife a princess?
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Hey, Dave, help me with this real quick. We don't have very much time. In a minute, help me understand what is happening with the economy, because it feels like people are still hiring, businesses are still making money, and that I don't fully understand it, but the Fed's trying to crash it.
Yeah.
They're trying to run it up against the wall, and I don't understand that.
Well, because you're a logical human.
No one's ever said that before.
No,
like if it feels like they're trying to run it into a bridge
and said out loud they want to cause unemployment.
Help me understand even the rational
concept.
line.
The concept is if we slow the economy down because of unemployment, then the prices will stop going up. It's in an effort to squash inflation. The problem is that's not what caused inflation.
Right.
A speedy economy isn't what caused inflation. It was horrible domestic policy on oil. Mm-hmm. Turn the spigot off, the prices go up. No kidding. Okay, so Biden sticker, I did that for sure. Yeah. The other parts of inflation were COVID-related, not COVID-related. They're quarantine.
Just the lag.
They're quarantine-related. Right. You shut down the factories on cars. There's no cars, so the price of cars goes way up. Mm-hmm. You shut down the factory on producing lumber. There's no lumber, so the price of lumber goes up. Oh, wait, now we started the factories back. So now there's cars again, now there's lumber again. It's starting to smooth out. Lumber's back down.
That's what I mean. So if you wait a hot minute.
If you wait a hot minute and quit screwing around with it, trying to fix it with the wrong tool, quit using a hammer on a Phillips screw. I mean, really. And that's the problem, and that's why everybody's so pissed off. Even Bernie Sanders came out and said this is the wrong thing. Me and Bernie Sanders agreed on something.
Yeah, no, I felt my feet getting cold, and I was like, hell's freezing over.
This just happened. Yeah,
exactly.
It's like Dave and Bernie agree about something.
Well,
that's twice in 6 months we agreed about something.
I'm not near as smart economically, but I remember at the start of deer season last year, the shelves in the ammo department and at Academy was wiped out.
Yep.
And then I went there the other day, and they are full top to bottom. And my first thought was, the factories must be catching up.
Yep.
And then I thought, well, what? Maybe I'm missing something, but why are they trying to drive this thing in the ditch?
There's two things that cause prices to go through the roof. Okay, two potential things that we're discussing here anyway. One type of inflation is what we had in the 70s, and it was just a white-hot economy. Mm-hmm. Everything kept going up, and everybody got away with it, and so it went up again, then it went up again, then it went up again, and it was just prosperity heaped on top of prosperity, mix in a little greed, and boom. Okay, and there was a monetary policy in those days, in the late 70s, early 80s, very similar to this. George Volcker had the Fed back then. And I was actually an adult and remember this. But, and so they did the same thing. They just jacked rates up to slow down the economy. But that inflation in the 70s was a different kind of inflation.
Gotcha.
This inflation was domestic oil production related and quarantine supply-demand curve related.
Gotcha.
And if they'd leave it alone, they're going to mess it up further.
That's what it feels like when I keep opening the grill to see if my brisket's. Yeah. The more I open the grill, the more I screw it up.
Exactly.
If I just leave it alone.
Exactly. If you just let it cook, let it cook. It'll turn out. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Courtney is in Los Angeles. Hi, Courtney. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
My question is, should we sell our home to purchase one that's bigger and has lower monthly payments, but my husband would have to commute about 2 hours to work?
No.
No way. He's going to hate that.
Okay.
He's going to hate you.
Well, can I elaborate a little bit, if I may?
You can, but I don't think it's going to change it.
You can, but you're not talking me into commuting 2 hours. Not a chance I would do that.
Right. No, it wouldn't be an everyday thing. It would be, so he's in law enforcement, so he has chunks of days where he's working, where he could be staying with his mom, and then on his stretches of days off, he would be commuting up to us.
I don't like it. I'm just being honest with you.
You want a part-time husband?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of used to solo parenting with him being gone.
Honey, if you want to do it, you do it. You called and asked if we would do it. We were both unanimous in a no.
What did he say? When you guys have talked about it, what did he say?
When you suggested he lives with his mother instead of you so that you can get this house, what did he say?
I mean, he's open to it. He's very cautious. We've looked at the area and at the housing, and it, everything looks good, but we're just doing a lot of thinking, a lot of praying.
I think you're prioritizing the size of the house and the housing situation over the quality of your life of your family. And I think it's a bad choice.
I'd agree with that. I agree. I mean, that's the way she framed it up.
It's
a bigger
simple.
house.
And a lower payment, but I lose control of our family relationships.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. You scatterbrained the whole place.
Yeah, that's not a long-term play.
Not a chance. I live 8 minutes from my house, and there's no one there but my wife and my dog. But I'm still going home in a few minutes. Wow, that would drive me bananas.
I couldn't do it.
In 2 hours, I can almost be in Knoxville, Tennessee.
And is it 2 hours going and 2 hours coming
she said
home?
A 2 hour commute.
That's 4 hours. Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Life's too short for all that.
Yeah. I mean, I understand in Los Angeles you're going to have longer commutes than we have in Nashville.
Sure.
We have a better quality of life than you do.
That's right.
But it's just the same. 2 hours is not. It's not sustainable in a relational context.
No.
For your kids. Your kids need their dad more than that. And more than they need their dad living with his mom part-time so you can have this house. Not a chance.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
No. So it's, here's the other thing. If both answers suck, you don't have enough options. If the answer that 2 hour commute sucks and staying where we are is super expensive sucks,
there's always a third choice.
Then there's what's another option?
Yeah, there's
and
always
a fourth option and a fifth option, a sixth option. Maybe we don't live in that area of California at all.
That's right.
Maybe he takes a job in law enforcement in a different place that is more affordable that we can live in. I mean, maybe you don't make enough to live in that area.
That's a fact.
And so then you're forced into other decisions. People have done that for centuries.
Oh, yeah.
In the United States of America.
Yeah, you
it's
don't
what
have
causes
to.
people to move to other areas all the time.
Yeah.
There's always a migration in this country, and a lot of it is driven by economics.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a possibility. But, yeah, those aren't the only two options in your life, because both the options you gave me suck. You need more options. Scott is with us in Chicago. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good. Thanks for taking my call, Dave.
Sure. What's up?
So I'm on baby step number 2, and the thing that seems to be giving me the most trouble or the most frustrating is I have $50,000 in student loans. So that's due to be paid back over the next 20 years, actually. So if I pay at the minimum payment, which I don't plan to do, but it'll cost me over $100,000.
Well, that's absurd. It's not even an option.
Yeah.
So what do you make?
So, I make $100,000.
Good. So how fast you paying off 50?
What's that?
So how fast you paying off 50? 1 year?
I wish.
Why not?
I guess my question is.
Wait a minute. Don't drive off. Why not?
Okay.
Why not pay it off in 1 year?
Well, I'm not to that payment yet. I'm still paying off a couple of other things.
Oh, okay. So you got other debt. How much other debt have you got?
$4,700 in a car, and then about $5,000 in credit cards.
Cool. But you make $100,000. Are you single?
No, engaged.
Oh, good. Cool. When you getting married?
December 2nd.
Okay. You having to pay for part of that?
Unfortunately, no.
Good. So, so basically, we've got from now until December making $100,000, and you got about $54,000, $55,000 worth of debt. Is that right?
Close to 60.
Yeah.
With the
Either way.
phone,
Okay.
The car.
So you're not quite going to make it in a year, but you ought to make it in 18 months, shouldn't you?
That would be nice.
Well, 100 minus. Well, let's just say 18 months. 150 minus 60 is 90. You can't live on 90 in the next 18 months? Not counting taxes?
I guess I lost you there somewhere.
Okay, let me try again. You make 100 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So a year and a half of income would be 150, wouldn't it?
Right.
Minus 60 worth of debt would equal 90. Minus some taxes, right? Minus some taxes. But you can't live on 90 over 18 months?
No, you're right.
I am.
So I know you had just told the previous caller also to not invest in your retirement at all.
Not at all. No. You're broke, man. You're not investing in retirement. You're getting out of debt.
Not even if it's matched?
Dude, I don't care if it's matched 20 times over. You got $50,000 in student loan debt. You just called me up whining about paying it off over 20 years. We got to change that. If you'll get this out of the way, your most powerful wealth-building tool is your income. And right now, it's all committed to somebody else. I want their name off your income in the next 18 months. Then you're in a position to, boom, man, you could smack the crap out of that 401k after that.
Right.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. So I also have a Roth IRA that's like $15,000.
Stop it. No, just leave it there. But stop adding to any retirement temporarily. Wait a minute. You're a new listener, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was treating you like an old listener. I'm beating you up. I apologize. Okay. So here's the thing. We teach a thing called the baby steps, where you do one thing at a time in order. With the premise is this, that your most powerful wealth building tool is your income. If you have no payments, you're in a position to build wealth very quickly and very easily. And that includes building first an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. So baby step 1 is $1,000 start. That's a little starter emergency fund. Baby step 2 is no life, scorched earth lifestyle. We're cleaning up debt because we're going to be so intense and so focused and get it out of our life as fast as possible because you have $60,000 of barrier between you and your dreams.
Right.
And I want it gone. Boom. Punch it. Okay? And when you knock that thing out, then that sets you up to go back to that $1,000, raise it up to a fully funded emergency fund. By the time you do that, you're married 6 months, okay?
Okay.
And you got her income in the mix, which is going to change the equation here. But I'm just using this as an example. 3 to 6 months of expenses are set aside, and now you've got a fully funded emergency fund. Let's call that $20,000, and you have no payments in the world. Does that feel pretty good? Yes. Now you step in, and you don't take the measly 3% match in the 401k. You max that puppy out, or you take it up to 15% of your income. And then we'll save up and pay off your house next. And with no house payment, how old are you?
31.
Cool. By the time you're 40, you should have your house paid for and all this stuff cleaned up. And a paid-for house. And, dude, you'll be a millionaire by the time you're 45 if you do that.
Gotcha.
The math works. I'm not making this up. I've done it before. So here's the thing. You and your fiance are getting married in December, you said?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a 9-week class called Financial Peace University. You go once a week, one night a week for 9 weeks, and it shows you all this stuff, and it shows you how to handle money. It's not get rich quick. It's get rich slow. It's the hard way to do it, but it works every time. And the number one cause of divorce and money fights in America or the number one cause of marriage fights in America is money and money problems. So I'm going to give you to that class as my wedding gift, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this stuff, and then you call me back if you've got any questions. I'm going to pay for you to go. Hold on, Kelly's going to pick up. We'll get you signed up and get you going. Boom. We'll get this whole thing started out there. Guys, it's amazing if you just take a step back. Isn't it interesting how you think, 20 years I'm going to be in debt? And then one conversation and some basic math, and you go, hey, wait a minute. We're going to get rid of this now. The highest probability chance you have to building wealth is to be debt-free, folks. Your highest probability chance of getting out of debt is to be very intense, very deep cuts, and do it fast. Band-Aid off quick. Snatch! That's the best way. Pull it! That's how you don't take it off slow. You snatch it. You get after it. That's the highest probability of getting out of debt, which then gives you the highest probability of building wealth and being outrageously generous throughout your life and being in control, because you have to learn to be in control to pull this stuff off. But hey, nobody wakes up a millionaire and goes, how'd that happen? That was accidental. No, it's intentional steps, people. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.
Luis starts us off in Atlanta. Luis, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
How's it going?
Oh, good. Thank you.
How can we help today?
So, rent is really expensive.
True.
And I'm really considering van life, and I wanted to know your opinion and any tips or
where do you
help.
Are you going to park it down by a river?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to park it down by a river?
Whatever I can.
You're going to have to Google that reference later.
Dude, don't move into a van down by the river. Why are you considering van life?
Why are the options either you can't continue to live where you live, rent is too expensive, but the other option is move into a van. How did you get to that option?
So I just saw it on Instagram, and I don't know, I thought it was a good idea.
Did someone on Instagram say it was a good idea? They said, hey, life hack, can't afford rent, live in a van.
Or they just, I've seen them. Hey, listen, Louis,
Or was this like the influencers who make it look really cool?
Yeah, dude, George, they're amazing. Tell me if I'm wrong, Louis. Like, they take these old vans and they strip them completely down, and dude, they make them so rad. And they take these awesome photos, like on a beach, and it's all.
Those people have a lot of money. They can afford rent.
And they live in how. Why is it? Let me ask you this: what's so great about where you live that you'd be willing to stay there in a van? instead of move to another town or
get a
community
roommate
or job where the rent is less?
I guess families here,
Okay,
so
I love my family. I love them, and all my family lives in the same state. They all live in Texas. And then I got an opportunity to go make different types of money and have a professional, so I moved because I had to. And I still get to see my family. I love them. I still get to see them regularly, but I had to move.
Mm-hmm.
So, Luis,
you're not buying it.
What is your rent? Let's just get to the numbers.
$1,200.
Okay, are you living alone?
With a girlfriend.
Okay. Are you splitting the rent?
No, not yet.
So she's not paying, and you are?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we got 17 more questions now. What's your income?
I make $30,000 a month.
$30,000 a month?
I'm sorry, $30,000 a year, $2,800 a month.
I was gonna say, bro, why are you calling us?
I was like, this doesn't matter.
And what job are you doing? Because I want that job.
Okay, so your rent is almost half of you. Is that your take-home pay, the $2,800 after taxes? Is that what ends up in your bank?
I take it all because I work for a private contractor. Yep.
Okay, so here's one option. Hey, girlfriend, we can't live together, and I'm gonna go get a roommate. And then your rent just went down to $600, and now we can breathe.
All right.
There's one option, right? If you just didn't even want to move. The other option is, where else can I live cheaper? And that may not be super viable in your area. You may only get down to $1,000, which is still too much based on your income. So the second question becomes, how can I increase my income to where I can afford the rent?
Okay.
So what kind of work are you doing right now?
HVAC sheet metal installation.
Okay, and you're making.
How are you making $30,000?
Are you? What's your actual salary? Is it about 40-something thousand?
No, it is 30 something.
Yeah. Okay.
And you're a 1099?
Yeah.
Are you putting money back for taxes, or are you going to be in the hole for taxes too?
No, I'll hold it and then pay it whenever.
So you have the money to pay the taxes come April?
Probably not in full. Yeah.
Dude, listen, you have too good of a skill and it's such a high demand area. What's keeping you from going to work for an HVAC company and making $85,000 a year plus benefits?
I don't have my high school diploma.
Do you have certification, or you can weld?
No, nothing. I just started. I'm 20 years old.
Okay.
This is my first lease, ever. So I noticed the money is just too much.
Yeah.
And what other debt do you have?
I just have one credit card.
Okay. Is there a balance on there?
Yeah.
How much?
$900.
Okay. And how much money do you have in the bank?
Right now, $400 plus $900 in savings.
You got $400 plus $900.
Yeah.
Okay. So $1,000 is your starter emergency fund, which then leaves you, what's that? $300 on top of that to start paying off this credit card. So by tomorrow, we can get $1,000 in the bank, and your credit card debt is down to $600. That's our next plan of attack: is paying off that credit card. We're cutting it up. We're closing the account. No more credit card. We're going to start using a debit card. Do you have one of those?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That is plan number 2. Start using the debit card. Now we're debt-free, and we have $1,000 in the bank. You tracking with me?
Okay.
Then we're going to continue saving an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses, not income, just expenses. So start getting on a monthly budget. I'm going to gift you 1 year of Every Dollar Premium. That is our budgeting tool. You can set up a budget within minutes, right there on your phone, on your computer, and it's going to help you pay attention to every single one of those $2,800 coming in every month. And you've got to start making a plan for it and stretching it. And part of that is making hard decisions, like saying, hey, I can't live with you and I can't afford rent, so I'm going to have to move. I need to get a roommate, and I need to get my costs down in order to survive.
And Lewis, did you grow up with a lot of money in your home, or did you grow up with a family that struggled financially?
Struggled financially.
Okay.
I grew up in the projects in Puerto Rico.
Awesome. So, man, I'm so proud of you, man. You're hustling, you're getting it done. One of the biggest shifts somebody who grows up in poverty can make in a mindset is this idea of how do I survive right now, which is I want to move to a van. That's how do I survive right now, to where do I want to be in 5 years, and what do I have to start doing right now to get there? What certifications do I have to get? How do I get into a local community college? How do I start grinding my way towards where I want to be in 5 years? That's a totally different mindset, and that's the road we want you to be on, okay, my brother?
And if you've got to get an extra job right now, if you've got to get 2 roommates, do whatever you have to do to get that financial stability under you so you can really start to build wealth and break this generational poverty. We are so proud of you, man. Dennis joins us in Wichita. Dennis, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How can we help today?
I have actually, it's my daughter has a situation. She's 17 years old. Her mom got her a checking account when she was 16, and she's been working and putting money away and being very responsible. Well, a couple of days ago, she got a message on Instagram from somebody she did not know, saying that they enjoyed some of her pictures and they wanted to use her pictures and they would pay her for it. Well, what they ended up doing was they sent her a check via email, said, okay, for $3,000, we're going to pay you for the pictures. You keep $500 and send us back that money when you deposit it, the $2,500 through Zelle. So she did that. I know, I would have saw it instantly, but I told her, but things happen. Well, anyway, she didn't think anything of it. She went ahead, and as soon as the account said that money was there, she sent it through Zelle to this individual. And then they tried it again for another $2,500. And then my ex-wife got a text message saying that the account was overdrawn and there's suspicious activity on it. And so they went in, they filed a police report with the local police. They sent it over to the bank's asset protection. So my question is basically this. They're saying that they got the second one stopped, but the first one, she may be on the hook for $3,000, which I kind of agree with, but I kind of don't agree because I thought there should be some better protection on a checking account for a minor, and that's what it was. So we're kind of, what do we do? My thought was just let them sue her for the money, get in front of, this way she gets in front of a judge. They can, at least talk to an impartial person, a judge, and say, hey, this was scammed. We shouldn't be owed this. They didn't do anything to protect this account from fraudulent activities and fraudulent checks, because it's definitely fraudulent.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of, what do we do?
How honest can I be with you?
Perfectly. Go ahead.
All right. I don't know what state you're in, Kansas there. Every state's different. But if I'm a judge and you bring this to me, I'm going to turn around and say, where were the parents of this minor? Because they're ultimately in charge when you open an account like that. And so, yes, a bank should have, if they're going to open up an account for minors, there should be protections and all that. But anything legally always rolls downhill to the parent. Not always, but almost always rolls downhill to the parents or uphill to the parents. And so you can do that. I think this is an extraordinary, expensive, pull your hair out, frustrating, but extraordinary gift for your daughter if y'all frame this right. If you frame it as making this the bank's fault, then you're teaching your daughter that if we make a big mistake and we screw up, even we trying to do right, we thought we'd get this, then there's always somebody else to blame. If you teach your daughter, man, we messed up. You messed up big. I'll split this with you, or you can work it off in this way. It's going to be a very expensive thing to learn. My promise is this never happens again. I just was dealing with somebody who's a friend of mine who's got a college-age kids, was caught up in a sexting thing and a very similar scam via Instagram. And it was a mess, caused a lot of heartache and a lot of police reports. And all that. here's what I can promise you, that will never happen again, right? And I'm more interested in setting up a 17-year-old with a $3,000 lesson. Usually it's a car wreck or something like that you can learn a lesson like this. Set it up a lesson like this, and this never happens again, than I am about, well, they should have had, I personally am not going to go down that road. And if I'm a judge, I'm going to look at you, Dad, or look at your ex-wife and say, where were the parents when this stuff was going on? That's my take on it. George, got a thought?
Yeah, I just keep thinking, man, this could be a expensive road to go down, just fighting this thing in court when we don't even know who this guy is. And so as far as recourse goes, sure, you can report it to Zelle. You can, go after your bank and say, hey, this was fraud, this is legitimate fraud. But at the end of the day, there's a level of stupid tax here where we have to go, okay, red flag number 4,000. If they send me 3,000, but I'm only getting 500, this is a scam. When they overpay. And let me tell you, I fell for this, John. When I was younger, I shipped a pair of shoes on Craigslist to Nigeria because he said it was for his cousin, and I got a PayPal email. He paid extra for the shipping, and I thought, wow, this guy's legit. He really just wanted to send these to his cousin. It was a fake email, and it took a lot of sleuthing to even figure out it was a fake email. But I should have checked my bank account and said, is this money actually there? Is this actually in my PayPal account? And so there's a lot of things we do as teenagers, and there's two people getting scammed these days, older folks and young folks. The people in the middle hopefully know better, but especially young people, they can be susceptible because they're used to Venmo and Zelle. This is in their world. But unless they're mailing me a check and I go to the bank and cash that check, it's fraud.
I know I sound like a gong, George. And, hey, Dennis, I appreciate your vulnerability, and I appreciate you calling and asking. And I know things are challenging because you're parenting in two different households here, this young lady. If you were going to hand a child a smartphone and you're going to give them open access to the internet, to all social media, and let's let them go because they're just kids, and please do your due diligence and look at what is happening to our young people who are involved in this, just having free reign of the internet, free reign of these social media apps, free reign of – this is the best case scenario, quite honestly.
Yeah.
That she lost $3,000 and learned a hard lesson. The number of people over my years working at colleges that were caught up with compromising pictures of them that are out that they could never get back, that people were taking their text messages. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Parents, you have to be in your kids' business, especially when they're minors. Well, I don't want to be private. They're 15, they're 17, they're 14, they're 13. Get in their business. Get in their business. We don't let them buy beer. We don't let them buy smokes. We don't let them go to war. We don't let them buy guns because we know that their brains aren't fully formed. Yet we hand them the internet and say, make good choices, right? And there's entire industries that are built on preying on these young folks. Parents, get involved.
Have that conversation and say, here's the ground rules. Also, if anyone asks you for money, wants to give you money, this is a conversation that goes straight to the parents, and we talk about it.
Or be a Luddite and just don't give your kid access to the internet open.
Yeah. John, no one's ever wanted to buy my photos that I post on Instagram. So, and I'm a big deal, John. So I don't know what she got on her Instagram.
No one's ever. I'm not gonna. Oh, you know what? Someone reached out and said they'd like to pay for my pictures of my feet. And that's when I thought,
I'm going to hard nope on that one,
We're not
John.
going to be friends.
I hope that was rhetorical, like you're talking about someone else.
No.
Dear Lord. Okay.
And if they're reaching out to, oh, God, help us. Parents,
social
get
media.
involved in your kids' lives. Get involved in your kids' lives.
You're not being a helicopter parent. You are being wise.
You're being a caring parent.
Yeah, well, this is not encroaching on their privacy. This is helping them avoid some huge mistakes. A $3,000 mistake.
You've got two little dogs. Do they have their own account?
If they could open a bank account, John, I would make them open one. No, I'm talking
about an Instagram account.
Oh, yeah, one of them's got one. We don't post, though.
Come on,
We're better than that. We gave up on it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like, it's just you and me
Nobody
and a couple
wants
million
to
people.
see
Are
that.
you being honest? You gave up on it?
100%. You can go check it.
I'm proud of you, George.
Thank you.
I know it's hard.
Social media is hard enough on your own, let alone posting for an animal that can't post for itself. But some good lessons here, John. Social media, I think this is one of these things this generation has to grapple with and go, what's the healthy way to use this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's going to happen more and more.
And more and more and more and more and more. Yeah.
So parents need to have these conversations, set some ground rules, set some boundaries, so that we don't end up with a situation like this.
Yeah.
It's sad.
I hate that for you, brother. I hate that, Dennis. I hate that, man. I hate this for your little girl, too.
I hope she gets the money back somehow. That'd be great. But I've heard with these Zelle scams, it can be really difficult to get your money back. There's not a lot of recourse on this, but if she gets it back, call us up. Let us know. We'll cheer on with you, man.